This is my mother-in-law. This is Eleni. Everybody say hi, Eleni.
Hi, everybody. Well, my story started 2 years ago when I was having a shower, found a lump, went off to the doctors and found that I had breast cancer. Shared with the family, went through the whole process, chemotherapy, operation, radiotherapy, and then a year later, after it all, there was lots of things that had happened in that year, because there's a lot to digest when you find out. But lots of things happened, and I had lots of support from the family. I had great support from my actual church family as well. There's a few of them here. And different things happened. I'd get care packages from people that I hadn't spoken to for a long time. Actually moved interstate, and I'd get this care package, or I'd get these flowers, or I'd get plants, which I still have, which bloom every year. And there was things, those sort of things would actually kept me going and motivated me. But there was one gift that came that I thought I was a bit puzzled about. So I get home this day, and I'd been down the shops. There's a box on the table, and I looked at it and I go, it's not even addressed to us or anything. I said, oh, most probably it's for Scott and Nicole or something. So I left it on the table, and then I said to Nicole, I think there's a box up here for you guys. And oh, okay. And she had a look and she goes, no, I don't think so. And why don't we open it? So I opened it, and inside this box was, I'll have to show you.
I'll take it. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So inside this box, I pulled out a mug, and it was Star Trek. And as you know, it was to boldly go where no man had gone before. And this actually arrived the week before I was starting my radiotherapy. And I thought, well, I've never been there before. And I got this, and then I'm looking, and I'm going, Star Trek. And I always remember, I used to watch Star Trek like anything when I was younger, and I used to have the kids watching it. None of them really remember it though, like I do.
I do remember.
Do you, Yvette? And I watched the Star Trek, and I suppose the fascination with it was that I loved the part where they could just beam up and be in a place, and then beam back to where they were. And I liked that idea, being able to go somewhere else where I wasn't where I wanted to be. And so when I got this mug and saw that, I went, how come I've got a Star Trek mug? Who's this come from? And so then I was chatting with Scott, and Scott said, oh, he goes, I was sharing with a friend of mine and how much he loves Star Trek, and he loves it as well, and everything. And so then I said to him, can you find out who sent it? And it was his friend Will.
No, it was actually Andrew.
Oh, Andrew, Andrew sent this mug to me. I didn't know Andrew. He didn't know my story or anything. But the connection was like, getting this when I got it, was like, wow, it was such an encouragement. And yeah, and thank you, Andrew. I did send him a little note thanking him for it, because he doesn't realise how much this mug actually at that time, and still does.
No, just wait a second. Andrew's here now. Andrew, you want to come up real quick? You didn't even know he was here. Oh, here we go. Oh, bless you, buddy. Oh. Welcome, Andrew.
Thank you.
Do you just?
Why? I really think it's a God thing, honestly, but I don't know.
Give him a hand.
I was just talking to Scott about it, right?
Yeah.
Then I think you did mention something, okay? And
yeah.
I thought, if you're a Star Trek fan, you're a friend of mine, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just said that my mother-in-law loves Star Trek.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's it.
And then you popped up with a present for this person that you've never met in the next client session that we had.
You're okay.
Yeah,
I am. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
well and truly okay.
that's awesome. Good
Okay.
story. Awesome story. Thank you so much. Well, you've been on a journey with I suppose, like in a lot of different ways, like with work, with people, with changing teams and things like that. Maybe there's an example or a story that you'd like to share, maybe in just the side of what you've learned around teams, or just how to build a really healthier, effective team.
I think a better way to start, Scott, if you want to tell people what I was like when I saw you at the beginning, yeah? And then,
Okay.
And then, yeah.
Okay.
He's better at telling the story than I am, okay?
Well,
I was there, but I don't know what happened.
And Andrew, when we first started, if I were to describe it, there was you described things as feeling like there was a tunnel and you couldn't see the end of it, and there was a lot of bleakness, if you will, in that way.
I described to Scott, I felt like I was in jail.
Yeah.
I think that's the way I put it.
Yeah.
Yes. I couldn't get out.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And what do you think some of the things, just even in the course of like a year or two, that helped you to get out of jail?
I think, I don't know, I haven't answered that question before, but I think a couple of things. The first thing is you've got to, you're on a path, and I think either you're on the path or you're not on the path. Make up your mind. It's really simple, right? Okay? And if you're not on the path, then find another path. But if you're on the path, you've got to sort of like stay on the path. And I think it's like you have to have, I say to my staff now, a year of little faith, have faith. Okay? Yes? Because you don't know if you're going to make it to the end. And I sort of got to a point where you don't really care if you make it at the end. You care that you just keep like going at it. Does that make sense? Okay. And I would say that if you do that, like you wake up every day, you do the best you can every day, over a period of time, you will make some progress. Okay, which is really interesting. And if you get, I don't know, 80% of the way there,
Yeah.
that's good progress, I'd say. Okay. So I really don't care whether I get to the end. I don't know where the end is. Maybe I'll get to 100%. I don't even know what my objective is, okay? Maybe I'll be surprised myself if I get to 150%, okay?
Yeah.
Of where
Yeah.
I want to go. But I don't think it makes any difference. I think you just keep at it. And I think if you keep at it, and having a coach does help because you've got someone to talk to. So I see Scott for 3 hours every 2 weeks, okay? And we chat about things and try and make some progress. And I think now I've got some mind space, which I think is really important.
Yeah.
So I get the work done, and then I was sitting in the dog park, because I've got a dog, and if you know, you got to go to the dog park. Okay. And I'm there for an hour every morning with Bob, who's 85 years old, so we just sit there, and we're there for a couple of hours, and Bob's asking me a question, and I said to Bob, it's really interesting, Bob, because I'm not thinking about anything right now. Just like he's talking about the weather, it's going to rain, we maybe should do this or do that. I'm just like sitting there, and I'm like, I'm okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing actually going through my brain. And the funny thing is that in that moment something came to me and I said, oh, that's a good answer to that problem for our software that we're working on. Yeah, that's quite a fundamental solution that we're working through. So I think, yeah, if you keep working at things, you sort of learn things.
Yeah.
And I think when you learn things, that 120% workload you get every day, sort of like your skill set gets better and it reduces down to like 100% and 90% and 80%. And when you bring that part under control, you get this freedom of space, okay? And then that allows you to think more broadly about things, okay? But yeah, I've taken on 2 staff this year. I think we're moving to like 15, 16 staff in the firm, which is quite nice. And we're doing some complicated work right now to do with AI and integrating it into our product. So it's really quite difficult stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Really good. Thank you, buddy. Thank you for sharing. How's that?
Thank you, guys.
What would you like to share? I know your journey and your story. There's so many pieces. Where do you want to start?
Well, the reason I just want to say, disclaimer, like the reason I love the microphone on stage, it's not about me, it's about God. That's my story. It's not only about me, 'cause my story's ugly.
Yeah.
So look, I'll just say this. I've come from 30 years of addiction. I was like a full-on putrid drug addict. I was a junkie. I was a low-life, scum of the earth, bottom feeder, oxygen thief. Those are the things I said about myself. You couldn't say anything to me that hurt me, because I already said those things. I said the worst to myself, and I came from a horrible home and abusive alcoholic home. I was bullied at school, all the rest of it, and then I went into heroin addiction, all the things, And then the last addiction I was in, I was selling millions of dollars worth of drugs, and people say you come to meet Jesus, right? It's like, oh, you've come to meet Jesus and you've had such a horrible life, and this is this new life that has been given to you. Well, no, I met Jesus when I was in school, year 5 to 9. I had an encounter, I gave my life to the Lord, but then I had an encounter at 26 coming off heroin, and then I went back out in addiction for another 17 years. But so now I'm 6 years clean, I've gone back to that encounter that I had with God. And I realised it was the only thing for me that has given me freedom.
Yeah.
I'd been in 16 detoxes, 5 rehabs, psychotherapist, psychiatrist, psychologist, buprenorphine, methadone, naltrexone, everything, counselling therapist, everything that the world has to offer. And basically what it means for me is I put a lot of hard work into my recovery this time. And people even said to you, well, you've done the work. You should take the credit for it. And I thought, what? I should. I have done a lot of hard work. But it's simply this. I followed Jesus. I followed his way, and my life is free. And now I'm here today to learn about, and now I'm a founder and director of a charity. I help many people in addiction. I do prison ministry. I'm in leadership. I run an evangelist street outreach. I do a lot of things in the community, and I do it out of faith, and I do it out of love, and I do it from a beautiful heart, purity from God. And I'm here today to learn about leadership, but humility and integrity in leadership. Because if I do want to lead, and I do lead, I want to lead by example. So what I do behind closed doors, I want to do also in public, because God's always watching. Yeah. But I want to do it with humility. I want to lead with humility. So that's why I'm here today.
Whoa, powerful. Dude, thank you so much. That was awesome. Great sharing. That's amazing. Come. All right. This is my friend Chris, everyone. Hey, Chris. Okay, so I've got to back up the story here with Chris. Anybody recognize Chris? Anybody been at the Ultimate Year Workshop or recognize Chris? You've been to Ultimate Year Workshop since 2020. And the first vision board that you made in 2020.
Before that. I would say 20.
No, 19. It was 19 because we were at that church.
Yeah, that's right.
And then you put a vision board up for traveling around the world, and then you've been subsequent years as well.
Yes.
But this last year, there was something that you put on your vision board. Could you start there as to like what you put on your... So it's nice that he put on places that he wanted to travel in 2019, and you traveled to those places, right?
Yeah.
But can you tell us what you put on your vision board at the Ultimate Year Workshop last year, and what happened?
Yes, I specifically remember I was thinking, I've been thinking about marriage and finding the right person to get married for a while, but last year, and even before that, like October 2024, I remember when was really like, it was kind of very strong on my heart, like this is the time I need to get serious about this. And I'm Christian, so I started praying about it. And I felt 2025 is the year, and when was the time? It was the time to write on the vision board the specific things that I wanted to think about, to believe for. I remember I put engagement or wedding in 2025, and yeah, that's what I put on it. So.
Woo! How about that? How about putting up that for your vision board? So you aren't only engaged,
Yes.
but you're married now.
Yeah.
Yes, and your wife is in the back. So talk about putting something on your vision board and then it happening more than the engagement. Now you're actually married.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to say, that my faith, or like if you want to believe in faith, or if you believe in faith, my faith was maybe for engagement, but I felt I was being told that put more than that as well, because I think I believe God can do more than you can ask for. So logically, I was thinking, okay, if I get engaged, like how can I get married in the same year? It's a bit logistically hard. It takes preparation, and people talk about a year, like they have to book things a year in advance, etc. But anyway, even all of that didn't matter because I didn't even have the person yet. It was very far at that point, when I was putting all of this on that vision board.
That's awesome. Amazing. Let's give him an applaud. Thank you, buddy. Really appreciate you, man. Did you have something else?
Say the timelines. Essentially, we started talking with my wife pretty much after that. So from February to July, we got engaged in July 31st, and then we got married October 16th, the same year. So glory to God.
Oh, that's awesome, man. So good. So good. Amazing. This is my good friend Martin, Martin and I have a bench. It has our name on it. It's out at Maribor Beach.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great spot.
Yeah, it's a great spot. Nobody else can have it.
Wales.
It's just these dolphins in Wales. That's right.
We've been so lucky.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And we've been coaching together for I think
3 years.
3 years.
Now?
Yeah. So what's the coaching experience been like?
Oh, it's been great for me, honestly. So I moved to Australia 4 years ago, and I've been trying to establish a life here.
Yeah.
And also move on with my profession.
Yeah.
I play poker. That's a bit of a weird thing to do, but it's a big part of my life, and it made me growing a lot, but it also gives me a lot of struggle in life. So it's good to be with you, Scott, and you've been helping me on the journey, and also to live in Sydney, meet new people.
Yep.
And all those things,
Absolutely.
Great.
It's been awesome.
Yeah.
It's been awesome. Yeah. And it's
now I'm actually becoming a father in like 1 week. With my partner Sursa.
Yes.
And, so the due date is on 15th February.
Yes.
It's a big change in life.
Yeah. Absolutely.
This is also part of the journey of being in Australia and arriving here and all those things.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to it. And we also got engaged, because I want to 100% commit to this family.
Yes.
And it's exciting times.
Come on.
It really is.
I just want to say that I was so elated when you told me, first two pieces of news, is that, hey, we're having a baby.
Yes.
And then later on, I don't know if I was one of the first, so you can pretend, if you don't want, but I want to feel like I was one of the first people that you told. But I was like, I came to Nicole, I was like, yes, he proposed, and I saw the pictures and stuff. That was just amazing. Yeah? Yeah.
It took me some time, because I just always put things, away too often.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy. I'm so happy right now. Yeah.
That's awesome. Give me a 5.
Yeah.
Dude, awesome.
Thank
Appreciate you, man. Will, John, and John were at the 2017 First Ultimate Year Workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I suppose I'll just mention something about that. First of all, did you see me limping up here? So, so folks, you can trust me, I think.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
This will be the first test of that process.
Yeah,
right? So,
yeah.
2017, we sort of corresponded quite regularly. In 16 and 15. So I was going through huge changes in life, right? So my wife had passed away, and I was struggling to be different. To find a way forward, and so I couldn't do with the corporate life anymore, right? I lost my soul. I realised I had one first, and then I realised they were trying to take it off me. So I sort of moved out, and it was people like Scott who I bumped into in Providence that tried to help me, put things back together again, right? And so it was so valuable. And in 2017, I came to Maroubra. I live in the Northern Beaches. So coming to Maroubra is, counts as like getting out of my comfort zone by about 10 times. Right? So I came to Maroubra, and we sat down, and I must admit, the slick process you enjoy today wasn't exactly what we were going through in 2017.
We're figuring it out.
It was so dense. Right? You had all of your... And like all of us good coaches, we try to stick everything we know in the 4 hours that we have you, right? And of course that's a mistake, right? Because it's not important what we know, it's important what you guys know and believe. And we're here now to unlock that. But in 2017, I was furiously writing down what you were sharing. And there was two things. First of all, it was the pillars of life. What's important in life is part of our picture, right? And so often I was completely, at that time, and so often I've spoken to others who were in that time, were completely lost. So the ideas about, relationship, family, career, those pillars that we point out, I'd never assessed them as any kind of, sort of organisation, right? You just did life. And then life did you half the time, right? So when I got started getting that structure, I could start to put some things together and talking at it, and then we chose a theme. Right? Now that wasn't in the workshop, that was post. You were introducing it.
That's right.
So you walked me through choosing a theme. I think my first theme was harvest, because I felt like all of the work we'd done in staying together and keeping going, in putting the hard yards in, paying your dues, it was time to turn that into something. And I did start harvesting, right? When you calm down, when you make sense of life, you start to do your values. You start to get to know what's important. And when you know what's important to you, you can start to put more of it in your life.
That's true.
And every time you put something important to you in your life, it gets better. And then ever since then, I've been doing the theme, and it was really important. Sorry, I've taken more than 2 minutes, like 10 minutes, but really important because I was diagnosed with ADHD, and all my life I'd struggled with goals. So I would come to incredible goal encouragers like yourself, and I'd take goals away really enthusiastic, and I always used to call it like a Chinese meal process, because by the time I jumped in the car and drove home, all the goals were already gone, right? They'd already been failed, right? Before I'd even had a chance to attempt them. So I started using that theme process. And I was telling Andrew earlier, it's like, who's done the 10-pin bowling with the bumpers in? For the kids?
Yeah.
You ever done that? Themes are like that. Every time I throw a bowl down and it tries to fly off into another lane, the bumpers bring it back into the lane. And eventually I knock down pins sometimes I even get a strike. Right.
That's
And
good.
That's why my themes are so important to me now. So my sub-themes for this year are service, platform, building and harvest. I'm going back to 2017.
You're going back to 2017. Nice.
And my theme today, which came to me while I was sitting in that beautiful garden, is personal growth, because that brings all of them together. So that's my
Nice.
story, man.
Love it. Love it. Thank you, buddy. Bless you, man. Trevor, would you like to come up? You put your glasses down like, I'm in. I'm coming up. Okay. All right. And after that, we might have just like one or two more. So if you know that it's yours, you better be like jumping, or else come up already.
There you go, man.
We have been training and coaching and doing all kinds of fun stuff, embarking on adventures for the last couple years.
Last couple. This is their fourth.
This is our 4th year.
I've been
Yep.
here 3 times. One time we had a conference that clashed with it and I couldn't get here.
Yep.
I believe that if you want something in your life, you can attract it to your life. And you know, 4 years ago I was sitting there, we run a business that was doing, in the midst of COVID, sort of $30+ million a year. And I'm sitting there, and all these coaches always come to you and they say, here's a picture with me with my Ferrari. You know, I can change your life. You know, and it wasn't for me, you know. So I kept on surfing the internet, and I found Scott. I'm from Queensland. I flew down for this, and have, you know, we fly all over to meet each other and catch up. And I found this guy that just had these awesome core values, right? He had a family, they were important to him. His values, even though, you know, I know Scott's like very religious and I'm probably less religious, but he puts up with me. But I found him and I thought, that's the guy. He's got all these values that I treasure, you know. And so straight away on the internet, I paid $1,000 and didn't know what for. I just paid $1,000 because I believe that if you're going to do something, you have to commit to. I flew down from Queensland and I wrote him his first cheque of probably over $20,000, and he earns a lot more from us these days, I can tell you. But I still feel I'm ripping him off. He is so awesome. In the last year, yes, we had a very profitable year and it was great, but that's not everything. We're a family company, so both my sons work with us, work with me. My oldest son and I sort of run the business together, him from Melbourne, me from Brisbane, or from Gold Coast Hinterland. And he suffers from, my oldest son, he won't mind me telling him this, it's not a secret, he suffers from ADHD, and I suffer from bipolar, and also post-traumatic, ex-army. And not only from Scott this year, in February we got together with myself and my oldest son, and we clashed. We were clashing, and the worst part about the clashing was it was affecting our personal relationship. I could separate the work from the personal side, but my son couldn't. And I'm thinking, it's not worth it, I'll sell the business. And I told Scott, I'll sell the business. But
you were close a couple times.
Yeah. My family is everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, Scott got involved and he didn't take sides, but he got us communicating so well. Not only the business thrived last year, but our personal relationship with myself and my son, which I hold far more important than, thrived as well. We had a meeting on Friday where we went through all our business stuff for this year. He's got a great ability to be able to listen and great fairness about it.
Yeah.
And so I found this dude and attracted him into my life, and he's changed it. in the last 3 months of last year, we finally got it together with a balance, where family was super important, my health was important, and work was important, where I'd struggled before to be able to do all those. My first wheel I did in this room.
That's after the break. Break's coming up, and then we'll do a wheel. Yep.
The first wheel had this huge big flat tire on it.
Yep.
It was crazy.
Yep.
And now it's a lot more balanced.
Yep.
And I love you.
No, I love you too, man. Thank you, buddy. Really appreciate you, man. Okay, we got one more. Let's bring up John. Okay? John, you're in. Snuck in under the wire, right? Yeah? Anybody ready for a coffee after this? Okay, so wait. This is the story that leads us into the coffee break, okay? So no pressure, no pressure. Okay.
I met Scott many years ago through my son. He got into life coaching, and just quickly, one of the greatest things that you told me about was to, Scott said to me, one of the things he wanted me to do was go on a negative-free fast for one month.
Yep.
And I had never even perceived that, you know, and I did that, and it absolutely changed my life.
That was awesome, wasn't it? Yeah.
But through the journey, during the journey, I got the dream job working for a council, can never be sacked, and I absolutely loved it. And as a Christian, my whole self-esteem was established with work. I was just, like John, a widow, and I'd just come home and I'd actually be depressed on a Saturday if I didn't go to work. And so anyway, the ultimate employee never said no, happy with anything I was given. And then COVID came along, and then they said, you know, everyone's got to get vaccinated. I said, absolutely not. So anyway, losing my job, but what I learned through it was that this self-esteem that I had built in my workplace was actually was lies.
Yeah.
Totally facade. I mean, garbage has to be picked up and all that type of stuff. But I learned that the greatest pillar in my life was I've got 4 amazing children.
Yeah.
And I became a yes man to those kids. And they said, Dad, can you? The answer was yes, regardless of what the question was.
That's pretty cool.
And I started to serve my children. And also, self-discipline is my greatest weakness. And I would get up like 2 in the morning to go to work and get there on time. But to actually do that for myself now, is very hard. So self-discipline, and you know, I know doing the gym and going to spend time in prayer, and the Bible was putting the biggest rock first.
Yep.
And every time I do that, it doesn't happen all, everything else flows. My day is phenomenal. You know, I'm restoring my home and a whole heap of things happening. But doing the most important thing, and prayer, worship, and then my children are ultimate, and then the greatest desire that I have is for my kids to be proud of me, because they're super fit, super together, and they want, you know, got 3 grandkids, and they want me to live as long as I possibly can, and I'm serving my grandkids like I should have served my children.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
So I really got a lot to thank you for.
Oh, you're awesome.